I want to show you how to make a bobble that really pops. So the bobbles that I make are spread apart by 9 stitches, so you would have to do it in a pattern that calls an even number of multiples of 10. So I'm just going to start right here with the bobble, so jump right in. So when I make a bobble, I turn 1 stitch into 5. The way I do that is by knitting into the front 1 time, knitting into the back, that's 2, turning it back to knit in the front, 3, into the back is 4, and then 1 last time into the front makes 5. Okay, so now you've made 5 stitches out of 1. You're going to turn your work. I slip the first stitch purlwise, and then I purl the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to turn my work again. I usually tug it a little bit, pull the stitches down, slip the first stitch knitwise, and then knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And tug it to get it down again, turn your work again, and again slip purlwise the first stitch, and tighten it a little, and then you purl 2 together. So I have to pull down on the stitches a little bit in order to purl these 2 together, and then purl the last 2 together as well, and then turn your work again, and then pull them down and slip the first stitch knitwise as we have been, and then you're going to knit together the last 2 stitches, and then you're going to pass this first slip stitch over the knit 2 together. Okay, so you have a bobble now. Now I want my bobble to stick out a lot from the work, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you take the working strand, you're basically wrapping it all the way around the bobble. So I'm going to go in between the needles, underneath the bobble, and then I'm going to slip the bobble onto the left hand needle. And then that yarn is still coming out. And it's going to go around the bottom of the bobble, and then I'm going to go around the right hand needle so it's going to the back of the bobble. And then I'm just going to slip the bobble back to the right hand needle, and I'm going to pull it tight. And then you can see that kind of squeezes the bobble into a bobble shape. It makes it pop out. Okay, so let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to make my bobble. So again, we're going to turn this stitch into 5. So knit into the front 1, knit into the back is 2, knit into the front again is 3. Make sure you're doing this very loosely. It'll just make it easier for you on your hands when you try to do the bobble. So don't pull as tight as you do when you knit. Knit into the back is 4, and then knit into the front as 5, and then you're going to turn your work. Again, we're going to slip as if to purl the first stitch, and then purl the next 4. I'm trying to loosen my grip a little bit here so I don't have so much trouble when I get to the end of the bobble. I'm going to turn, slip as if to knit 4, and then turn 1 last time, slip as if to purl. And now that I've been doing it pretty loosely, I don't have to pull down so much in order to purl 2 together, because it wasn't as tightly knit. Okay, turn, slip the first stitch as if to knit, and then knit 2 together. So it's a lot easier than that first bobble because that was a lot looser. Okay, so now we're going to pass the slip stitch over, and now we're going to wrap the bobble. So the yarn's coming out the back of the bobble, And we're just going to take it, I put my finger in there just to push it out, and then I just wrap it around the bobble, and then we slip the bobble back on to the other needle so that we can keep wrapping. So I just go in between the needles, pull it to the back, slip it back, and then tighten it. And then I just kind of fluff the bubble. Fluff the bubble. Okay, there's the bubble. And now we're going to knit 9 again. I'll just knit 4 just to show you. Okay, so now we've made our bubbles, and you can see that they stick out from the fabric, which is what I love. So if you don't wrap it, you can see the yarn is wrapped around it right here. If you don't wrap it, it has a tendency to get pushed into the fabric, and it ends up being kind of flush with the knitting, which is not the purpose of the bubble. So that is how you can make bubbles that pop.